the producer of Assassin's Creed Unity, Vincent Pontebrand. He was talking about his dreams of making like an Assassin's Creed MMO in the future. And I was just reading this article, and it sort of got the gears turning. And I just thought, what would be like my ideal Assassin's Creed MMO? And I was just thinking about that. But before I talk about that, I'll talk a little bit about how this game kind of fell short in the multiplayer aspect. I mean, I just want to stress that this is an excellent game. I mean, it was the first Assassin's Creed game on next-gen consoles. I mean, these graphics are just so beautiful. I mean, when I first loaded up the game, it was like, I was just stunned at how beautiful everything looked. So I was really impressed. I was impressed with the story, and I mean, the ending wasn't so great, but it was, overall, it was impressive, right? But the multiplayer kind of, I felt like it sort of let the game down a little bit. And I'll talk a bit more about why that is. Major point was the co-op missions, right? I wish there was a few more of them. Right, let me see if I can find it. I mean, there's about 11, I think there's like 11 co-op missions. And I mean, they were decent missions, like good detailed missions, quite engaging, like just really good to play. Like I played a lot of them with my boyfriend, like we did like co-op on our own and with other people as well. They were good. Some of them encouraged cooperation, which was good, especially the heist missions. They definitely encourage cooperation, so you can sort of get it done in sort of a clean, stealthy way rather than just charging in and ruining your the end score. So I thought content-wise they were good. I just wish there was more of them. Like when I finished, it was like, what do I do now? Because you can see on there the rewards. It's like if you play it again, you can unlock more stuff. But by the time you're playing these again, you already have enough money to buy like the legendary equipment anyway. So there's not much incentive to replay the missions after you're done with them. Maybe collect the sync point things. But that's it really. And it's like, I want to play online. Like I finished the game, I want to play online a little bit, and then I look on these and I'm trying to choose which one I want to do. And then they all just feel so familiar. I mean, 11 sounds like a big number, but then when you look at it like this, it's not that many missions. That's co-op and that's heist, and that's all for like online missions. So that kind of bothered me a little bit. Another thing is, it really confuses me, right? When you finish a co-op mission or a heist, the game automatically sends you back to your free roam world, right? I mean, if you're in a group with other people, it will send you back with your group. Or sometimes it glitches and you have to re-invite them or whatever. But yeah, it's a bit funny that way. I mean, it's odd because sometimes I don't always just want to play one mission. Sometimes I want to keep playing, do more missions with the people that we play with. Like sometimes you come across some really decent players that understand like how to cooperate with you and how to be stealthy and whatnot. So sometimes you just want to play a bit more with them. And then the game just says, all right, bye. And then everyone is just whisked away into their own universes. And it's like, oh, and it's just a little bit, makes me a little bit sad because I think, oh, it's just a bit anticlimactic, that's the word. So yeah, that bothered me quite a lot. I mean, it would be nice if there was an option to say, oh, or even if it was the leader who was deciding, oh, would you like to play another mission with this group? Or would you like to follow the leader back to their simulation of Paris or something? Just something to let you know that there are other humans in existence and they're not just sort of ghosts that come in and come out whenever you play a mission and just disappear magically, and then it's just you again in free roam. And it's just sort of like disjointed, so odd. I mean, like it's just weird that way. I don't know why they did it like that. I'm just not quite sure. Same thing with free roam. Free roam, let's see, you can invite players, but the players you invite is usually your friends or people in your club, right? So you can't really invite, it's not like you can just invite random people into your free roam. which would have been kind of more interesting, so you can kind of get like a good mix of people joining. It's just sort of like fun that way. Oh, someone new's joining the world, and you go meet them, and you just cause havoc together. And then, but then the thing is, even if they do join, there's not much you can do together in free roam. I'm talking about free roam, co-op free roam, right? In free roam, all you you can do like maybe you can host a little parkour race across Paris, or maybe you can go on a killing spree or something. Well, that's it really that you can do together, because you see the side missions like the murder mysteries and the Paris stories and the companion missions, you can't do those free roam co-op. So it's like when someone joins, all of those extra side missions disappear. So you're basically just running around, not doing much really, just kind of like hanging out, but not really doing anything in particular until you actually join a mission. Which, I mean, that doesn't feel like true co-op free roam to me if not all of the features are available to me. It feels like it's just not complete. That's how it feels to me. It's like it's not complete. Like, imagine doing murder mysteries with your friends, like making this cute little like Sherlock Holmes and Watson tag team solving mysteries together. Like, you split up and look for clues, and then you meet up together and sort of talk about what you found and your theories and stuff. Think about how interesting that would have been. But it's like, oh no, you do it, you're on your own. So yeah, and that's it. And it's like, it's Assassin's Creed Unity, so it should be about, you know, teamwork and doing it together. So I found that kind of odd. What else was there? Companion missions are kind of weak. I mean, they're laughably weak, actually. It's like, you can just do, like, you just basically kill an NPC and then it's finished. And then that's it. And I just found it funny, because I would rather have more actual co-op missions than these sort of kind of mini side ones. Because if it's Assassin's Creed Unity, then it's better for them to kind of like, you know, you need to shine. Well, if the product is about co-op, right? The first Assassin's Creed co-op game, then you need to shine these features more. There should be more, definitely should be more co-op missions, and maybe more emphasis on the co-op idea. So I just found that, you know, it was almost funny how you play a mission, oh, you send back to free roam without asking if you want to continue, and it's just all quite strange, if you ask me. So yeah, so when I was thinking about this MMO thing, I just thought, wow, it'd be amazing to do something like that. And I'm just gonna go to the club room, because I mean, this is just like what I'm talking about with the graphics. I mean, this building is just gorgeous. I mean, just look at it. Just look at all that detail. It's beautiful. And I was like, where is it? See if I can find it. I mean, I've played this game a while. I still don't know my way around my own house. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was over here somewhere. I think back here.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Yeah. It's here. Yeah. So this is like the club room, which is like yeah, it's like your own. You can make sort of your own like mini faction and sort of do missions. I mean, the idea of it is good, but I don't really understand. I mean, what I was talking about before, how it's sort of, the co-op is kind of disjointed. It kind of affects this this club feature as well, and makes it kind of weird and not quite free roam either. I mean, it's like you can join a club, and then you can get like you can get points by doing missions with club members and things, and like completing objectives. And it's like, it doesn't feel, I mean, it's a club in the sense that you can have more than 4 people, but because you can only co-op with 4 people, then it doesn't really feel like that club identity, if that makes sense. It just feels like you're playing with a small group of people, but you don't really get that feeling that you're together. which is ironic because it's called Assassin's Creed Unity. Yeah, so there's that as well. And so I just thought this room is like, it just sort of gave me inspiration about this MMO idea. So it's like, my ideal MMO, it would be like, there's assassins and there's Templars, right? We all know this divide that's you know, been the main theme of the games over the years, right? So it's assassins and Templars. You basically choose which side you want to be on. So you can be an assassin if you want to, or you can be a Templar if you want to. I know there's been other games like Assassin's Creed Rogue, which have been which explore like the Templar side a bit more, which is more realistic and more interesting to me actually, to be able to choose both sides. So it's like, it could be that like your first mission could be like a training mission or something, and basically you end up deciding whether or not to be an assassin or a Templar, and then you go from there, and then from there it could be like a character creator. And the character creator, right, I am big on character creators, like big detailed ones, like in my other video, the Elder Scrolls Online one, I talked about Elder Scrolls Online character creator and how it's so detailed, like all the details. I want to be able to make my ideal assassin, right? So I can like choose the race, the gender, her favorite weapon, her general style, the clothes, everything. I want to customize it perfectly. So you can literally make your perfect assassin instead of like Ubisoft making the like the protagonist and then people criticizing the protagonist because it's not up to their ideal. So if people keep complaining about the main character, then just let them make their own main character. It just makes so much sense to me. I mean, yeah, you could do it that way. You could choose like their style and everything. And how awesome would that be? And it's like, yeah. So another thing is that they shouldn't make the fight between the assassins and the Templars cliche in the fact that it's like good against evil, because the lines between them is quite blurred actually. I mean, there are bad assassins and then there's good Templars as well. So letting people decide which side they want to be on and how they behave, like the characters, you could even decide your character's like moral code even. You could make like an assassin who is totally chaotic and loves causing trouble and stuff, or a Templar who's really strict and polite and was always doing the right thing. And so it's like just mixing up the game a little bit, and I found that would be really good. And actually, what else is there? So it could be like each side has their own missions to disrupt the other's activities. So you could do missions. Basically, the missions allow you to gain territory, like similar to how you do in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where you can basically defeat the Templar gang. So your gang gains prominence in an area. So it's like if you're the assassins, you do certain missions, and then you have more power in a particular area versus the Templars. And there could be like this global like leaderboard showing like who has the upper hand, the assassins or the Templars, and show just like this dynamic fight between them. What else is there? In Elder Scrolls Online, the PvP part, the different factions can compete for these artifacts called Elder Scrolls, and they're these magical scrolls which give each side different abilities depending on who has them, or depending on if they have them or not. So it could be that the assassins and the Templars, they're competing for pieces of Eden, so like the Apple of Eden, the Sword of Eden, and then when the faction has the artifact, they deliver it to their own special vault, and this vault is like a first civilization vault, and it causes effects across the whole Brotherhood. So like say the assassins got hold of the Shroud of Eden, right? And the Shroud of Eden has the special property of healing. So it could be that when the assassins have the Shroud of Eden, all of the assassins across the world, their health regeneration is slightly more. So it's like each piece of Eden has its own specific effect, and so it will really motivate players to try and like work together to find these pieces of Eden, which could be like hidden in vaults all over the world, and like, oh, just it's just amazing that way. I get chills just thinking about it. Just even just talking about it, I just feel so excited. Like, what is it? Let's see, make it realistic. So like, basically, the assassins over history, they've excelled at assassinating, obviously. So obviously they work in the shadows. They're more stealthy generally, and the Templars work by controlling politics and economy. So you need to reflect that in the gameplay. So you can make the assassins, obviously, you can keep their assassination mechanics and whatnot, and then the Templars could have more money in general because they have better access to more mainstream methods of power. So they could have like more money to buy better weapons, for example. So it could be that they're better at like open combat, whereas the assassins are better at stealth and assassinating, obviously. So it's realistic that way. What else? Time period. Time period, interesting because quite a few time periods have been done already. So I think it would be a good idea to mix it up, either to do like a post-apocalyptic, slightly futuristic world, where it's like the world is sort of like in a little, sort of in disarray. It's like a dystopia sort of thing, and then the assassins and the Templars are fighting within this context. Or you could do like, even go way back, if you know the Assassin's Creed lore, all the way back to the first civilization, even to the time of the first rebels, Adam and Eve, and go back to them and their story and everything, and set that fight in that time period. And so you would have more interaction with the members of the first civilization. So it's like there would be humans who are enslaved, and maybe the assassins are trying to rescue them, whereas the Templars are more allied with the members of the first civilization. I mean, that's new and interesting, and it's still part of the Assassin's Creed universe, so I think it could work that way, in my opinion. So yeah, that's that. Character creator, I talked about that. And going back to this Unity thing, I want to be able to like make my own faction. Like, basically, there's this app called Geeking, and a while ago I ran this role play where I basically made a role play of a modern version of Assassin's Creed. So it's like we had our own HQ in New York, and we were doing missions together, gathering pieces of Eden and stuff. And like this idea that you can make your own like little gang or brotherhood, and you can assign hierarchies. So you could if you want, you could be like the leader of the gang or the faction, and then you can have people underneath you. So it's like a hierarchy, and you can promote them or whatever depending. And it's like you can train recruits and things. So it's like everyone has their place in the system. And even though you're all different ranks, you're all working together towards the same goal. I mean, that screams Unity to me more than anything else. And it's like free roam, it would be like true free roam. It'll be like an open world just like this. And then you could free roam with like 8, 9, 10, 30 people all together. I mean, like, imagine that. Like, that'll be like, imagine like Elder Scrolls Online. Imagine all those players playing together. I mean, it's a little bit chaotic. You might have to reduce it a little bit, but just make it like true free roam, and make it like a really huge world. Maybe revisit cities like London and New York, and new cities as well. Maybe Egypt, you know, like mix it up, and that would be really good that way. So yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. So yeah, just like a game that just captures the key ideas about Assassin's Creed, like freedom, power, corruptness, brotherhood, like working together, like all of it together in one thing, and that would be amazing. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on it, and yeah, that's it really. I mean, Ubisoft, if you're, I don't know if you're listening, but if you're listening, you know, I'm pretty sure I touched on some good points. So, you know, I mean, I'd be the first one to buy a game like that, like Assassin's Creed MMO. It could be called like Assassin's Creed, I don't know, Assassin's Creed Dominance or something. Something epic. It has to have an epic name, and it has to be like the best Assassin's Creed that there has ever been. Like, it will be the best one ever. But yeah, that's all from me. Alright, bye.